Hello. Uh. Blah. 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 Oh my god! Blah. Oh my god! Oh. Okay. I think that's not too bad. Right plan. Okay, cool. Now we'll test a simple game like, I don't know. We'll test FNAF pizza. We'll test Pizzeria Simulator. See if it still works. Okay, so let's get on with this. I don't know what to do. Microphone testing and stuff right now. I don't even know if we should play this. Alrighty. The thing is it's just like I don't know. It's oh, I turned it down, that's why. Makes sense. Shit. I'm confused. What did I do wrong? Oh, it's right there. Guys, what was your guys' thoughts on the movie? Did you guys watch Obsession? Because Obsession, I thought, was a pretty good movie, but I could be wrong. I watched it yesterday, and I mean, I thought it was pretty. Oh, shit. I'm so cooked. I can hear it in my right one. Okay, so it's not there? Okay. I think I can play audio here, right? Haven't played this game in a while. 6769. So I'm probably pretty rusty. Oh, I'm more than... Okay, so he's there. Should be good, right? How do I unclog toilets remotely? Doesn't make any sense. I mean, I want money, of course. That's like my main objective in the game. I don't even expect to win, because I, you know, started it so I could just test the song or sound quality. It's just when the music plays, it's very scary. It's the same way in... Oh shit, there's two. Why does that take so long? Knew it was coming, still got scared. Okay, good, good, good. Everything works. Everything works. Okay. Now it's time to hop on the good game. Alright. Let's open Roblox. How do I... Shoot. I do that again? I want to play Five Nights at Freddy's! Five Nights at Freddy's! What if it's Five Nights at Freddy's Sigma? It's Five Nights at Freddy's Sus. I'm so fucking cooked. Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the time. Gotta get away from here. Something in the atmosphere. Just stop your crying, it'll be alright. Just stop your crying, it's a sign of the time. Said this was the final show. Hope you wear your best clothes. The Sigma. The Sus Boy. Yeah, why isn't this shit loading? Do I push it now or do I wait for it to open? I probably should wait for it to open. Yeah. Okay. What is going on, bro? Oh, there we go. Alright. What was that game? There was was it Eternal Nights? I think it was Eternal Nights. Yo. That was genuinely bad. This game's gonna glitch out so much. That's fine. Alright, start game, start game. We're gonna do story mode. Or custom night. What is this? Create. Private room on voice chat. Alright. I don't think this is the one we played. Me and my friend Xander played one of these. Let me see if I can add the guy. No, I can't. You can't add people. That's stupid. Me and my friend Xander played one. It is. It's a shitty game. I remember the game. I played, but I don't like the game. I want to play the game where that one TikToker. Wait. He goes. What the hell? I think it's uh snap. He snaps his finger and just kills him. What's this game? What is this game? What the fuck? I'm looking. Eternal Nights. Eternal Nights. I should have known that. No, it's not. Bro. Boy, I'm so confused. Alright, we're getting in. I think this is it. Press what? Press what? Press what to skip what? Oh, press space to skip loading. Press escape to press escape. Anyway, what I was saying was, have you guys seen the new movie Obsession? Dude, that thing is terrifying. I watched it this weekend. Oh shit. Oh my. Hi, Freddy. Hello, Freddy. I want you. There you go, full screen. Okay. Alright, we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Sister location, FNAF 6. You know, sister location would be pretty chill. I'm now ready to rumble. Yeah, let's skip this shit ass loading. I don't care. Freddy Factor 2000. Philly Pizza Rolling. Sorry, guys. Working the Chinese show. Under camera, $120 per week. $120 per week. Ah. What the hell is this screen shape, bro? Oh shit, okay. Are they up and coming around yet? Oh, they're still just moving around like normal animatronics. Hell nah. Oh, Hannah, I said, oh, Hannah. Yo, boy. Oh, shit. I'll tell you, close the door. Ah, you pussy, you still there. You still. Gulp. Yeah, come off that stage. I know you won't. I know you won't come off that stage. I know you won't come off that stage. No, I know you won't. Oh, yeah. You wait. Hey, don't test me, Freddy. Hey, you still got a show to do. You still got a show to do. Oh my god, I'm actually scared as shit. Hey, you pussy for real. You can't come off that stage and look at me in the face. How do I run? Oh, I can't. Still moving like simple little robots, I see. Yeah. You were not gonna do anything. Ha. and and to think, people were rizzing you up and being scared of you, like they're not Sigma like me. I'm a Sigma. I'm actually scared of shit. I don't know what to do. Wait, I guess. Hey, Freddy, you were looking at me for a second there. I seen it. I seen you. Where's Foxy? Where's Kinger? Where's Kinger? Oh, this is like a cakewalk in the breeze of an afterlife. Oh, hell no. Is that Bonnie? Oh, hell no, Bonnie, bro. What you do? Yo, chill, bro, Bonnie. I know you ain't like that for. I'll kick your ass. Whoa. What the fuck? Oh, shit. No, 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 no. I just seen you move. I just seen them move. Oh, my God. Wait, what? Whoa, 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 Chica, you're not supposed to be on this side. They're hacking. I can't see. What the fuck is Bonnie? Ah, you ain't gonna... Yo, chill the shit. It just started. Chill out. This guy's still walking. Yo. Actually, chill that shit. Oh my God, chill that shit out, bro. Where is he? Played a big ass noise. Think about it. If I just keep it on all night, nothing bad can happen to me. It's not like doors can open on their own. I'm a genius. They don't call me Mr. Krabs' son for nothing. Oh, it works. Hello? Hello? Hi, I'm Phone Guy. Pleasure to meet you. I'd like to say a few quick words. Freddy's friends can be a bit active. Blah, blah, blah. That's completely absurd. Bonnie, Freddy, time to get ready. Been out already, time to play. And I heard they hired a new guy and it's his first day. I'll check out the cameras to see what they do. Let's check the animatronic. Did one of them just move? Don't be dumb, that's insane. Look, they're standing all the same. Except for one, could it be Bonnie staring right at me? Oh shit. Bro. I'm good, it's 5 a.m., bro. Oh, what the shit? I'll just sit down real quick. Take a quick seat. Ah, hell. Close the door! God! And I died. Lame. If I was actually in real life, I probably would survive because I actually beat Five Nights at Freddy's 1. Because I know how to play the game. We should play a different one. Okay, it's time to play. Let's check Steam. Let's check itch. Yo, why is everything so glitchy, dog? The sinkhole? Psalm 2. I don't know, dog. The sinkhole? 6-7 minutes in heaven.
Psalm 2. I don't know, dog. This sinkhole.
6-7 minutes in heaven. I downloaded a game, the 6-7 minutes in heaven one. I don't know how it's gonna be, but let's watch a movie about. Let's watch a video about obsession though. All right. What's up, YouTube? It's me, Eddie and I am a clear expert on the Five Nights at Freddy's lore. I've been doing it since like age 5. Yeah. Let's get into it because I don't want to do this any longer, and I have a game downloading, and my everything is shit. So, yeah. Let's get the quality up here. At least 480, right? All right.
The FNAF 2 movie just answered a ton of questions surrounding the FNAF timeline.
Okay.
But what I'm curious about is if those answers can be used to solve the timeline of the games. The FNAF 1 movie made it pretty clear that the movies are in a separate timeline to the games. There's important characters and scenes from the games that are straight up just absent or even changed in the movie.
Okay, by the way, I guess Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie spoilers, if that's what you're into.
Movies. For example, in the first movie, we see the scene where Afton gets spring-locked, with all of the animatronics surrounding him, then dragging him away to the secret safe room. In the games, not only does this scene already take place in the safe room, the physical animatronics aren't even present. Afton disassembles all of the animatronics right before he gets spring-locked,
and also the fact that it happens, you know, what, 18 years after it originally happens in the game?
Because of this, only the spirits themselves are surrounding Afton in the games. Like I said, similar things happen in the movies and games, but in completely different ways. So in this video, I'm gonna figure out if there really is anything we can take from the movies to help solve.
Just realized I'm an idiot.
The game's timeline. Make sure to subscribe and let's get started. One of the biggest reveals in the movie is actually something we learn from the trailers.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original.
I think they did that because of the fact that in the original,
Only the spirits themselves are surrounding Afton in the games. Like I said, similar things happen in the movies and games, but in completely different ways. So in this video, I'm gonna figure out if there really is anything we can take from the movies to help solve the game's timeline. Make sure to subscribe and let's get started. One of the biggest reveals in the movie is actually something we learn from the trailers.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original.
I think they did that because of the fact that... Dude, I gotta... Okay. Dude, we gotta restart this. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel, the Eddie channel. We're gonna get back into the video, or not back into the video, into a video I'm watching called "I Solved the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 Timeline." So, yeah, let's dive right on into this project by fnaf.
The
John
FNAF 2
Lee
movie
FNAF.
just answered a ton of questions surrounding the FNAF timeline. But what I'm curious about is if those answers can be used to solve the timeline of the games. The FNAF 1 movie made it pretty clear that the movies are in a separate timeline to the games. There's important characters and scenes from the games that are straight up just absent or even changed in the movies. For example, in the first movie, we see the scene where Afton gets spring-locked, with all of the animatronics surrounding him then dragging him away to the secret safe room. In the games, not only does the scene already take place in the safe room, the physical animatronics aren't even present. Afton disassembles all of the animatronics right before he gets spring-locked, and because of this, only the spirits themselves, movies and games, is anything we can take from the movies to help.
Also, it's clear that in the games, I don't get it. Well, I mean, I do get it, of course, because in the movie, their kids are not stuffed into the animatronics. That is very clear, as you can see with like Foxy.
Help solve the game's timeline. Make sure to subscribe and let's get started. One of the biggest reveals in the movie is actually something we learned from the trailers.
You're thinking of the franchise location. This is the original.
The FNAF 2 location with the toy animatronics was the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
I think they did that only because we know that in the game's timeline, the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 is a prequel in itself. So that's what I'm gonna get at, I guess.
FNAF 2 Pizzeria is apparently the first and only one of its kind.
Yeah. We were thinking the other way around, though. That's the thing.
This pretty much goes against literally everything we thought we knew about the FNAF timeline. The common consensus was always that there was the original Freddy's, then the toy location, and then back to the original Freddy's. So I guess the question is, in the games, can the FNAF 2 Pizzeria really be the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza? Well,
Yeah, it can. You know why? Because in Five Nights at Freddy's 6, we have a mini game, Protect Charlie, I think it was, Protect the Child or something like that, where we literally are in the FNAF 2 pizzeria, as we can clearly see, being the puppet. If that was the first kill, you know, it's very likely it could have been the first location.
the first thing I thought of was the FNAF 2 phone calls, where Phone Guy talks about the withered animatronics coming from a previous location.
By now, I'm sure you've noticed the older models sitting in the back room. Those are from the previous location, and we just use them for parts now.
The newspaper at the end of FNAF 2 also says, quote, "The new animatronics will be scrapped due to possible malfunctions. However, the original characters are being kept in hopes of a possible reorganization of the company." This straight up says that the toys are the new animatronics while the withereds are the original characters from the previous location. All of this heavily implies that there was an original Freddy's before the toy location. There's also the fact that the movie shows the toy location being open in 1982.
1982, which would have been the year of 1983, meaning Charlie would have died before. Well, yeah, because in 1983 is the Bite of 83, where Evan, or whatever Dave you want to call him, I don't really care, he dies to Fredbear. But I don't think that happens in this movie.
And we know because of this coin from the games that Freddy's doesn't open until 1983. All of this felt like the nail in the coffin. There is no way that the FNAF 2 location is the original Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in the games. Right? Well, after looking back over the first 7 FNAF games, a few things stuck out to me, especially in FNAF 4. In the minigames of FNAF 4, we get to see a week in the life of the crying child. And because of the commercial playing on the TV in the living room, we know that these minigames take...
Well, 1983, that's how we can tell that the Bite of 83 is in 83, right, Sigma? But what is he getting at here?
Place in 1983. During the crying child's walk back home, we pass by a little girl playing with toy versions of the toy animatronics. We also see a toy version of Mangle in the Afton house.
Oh, sorry. That's right. Mangle is taken apart. Right. But there wouldn't be a such thing as Mangle, or such thing as, like, Pink Foxy if Foxy wasn't pink yet. It is having a pink Foxy only works if the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 location was even remotely open, which means it had to have been open before 1983. Also, if I can remember, Bonnie wasn't that shade of blue in the original games. He was blue, not purple, like his thing, but it wasn't that shade of blue, which means the toys would have probably been based off of the toy animatronics.
In 1983. Why would there be toy versions of the toy animatronics all the way back in 1983? Well, maybe it's because the toys existed before 1983. In the movie universe, we know that the toys existed in 1982, and because of this, one of the other big reveals is that all of the toy animatronics are actually Springlock suits. So is there any proof that the toys in the games are also Springlock suits? Well, the way that Scott has portrayed Springlock suits has actually been pretty consistent throughout the years. In the most recent FNAF game, we learned that Springlock suits feature 3 prongs on the front of the torso that can fold in and out. And this is actually identical to what we see in the first movie. In the FNAF 1 movie, we see those same 3 prongs on the torso of the endoskeleton that can fold in and out. These are 2 fairly recent examples of what Springlock suits look like. But even if you look back at the original design of Springtrap, you'll find something pretty similar. We actually never get to see Springtrap's endoskeleton in-game, but in one of Scott's FNAF anniversary posts on scottgames.com, he posted a behind-the-scenes look at the design of Springtrap, and specifically his endoskeleton. He even gives us a zoomed-in look at the torso of the endoskeleton, and right there you can see those 3 prongs. You can also see rings around the arms and legs, presumably so human arms and legs can fit and operate inside the suit. For comparison, the Endo 01s from the FNAF 1 game do not feature the 3 prongs or the rings around the arms and legs, because the FNAF 1 animatronics are not Springlock suits. So what about the endoskeleton of the toy animatronics? Well, we know that they use Endo 02s, and thankfully Scott gives us a really good look at Endo 02 in-game. And wouldn't you know, the endos for the toy animatronics
They do. He's right. They have, I don't know what these 3 would be used for, but maybe they connect into something, like the 3 prongs here. We have the holes here, like the very strong connection.
have those 3 prongs on the torso and the rings around the arms and legs. Are the prongs exactly the same as the rest of the Springlock endoskeletons? No. But do I think it's close enough, considering Scott probably didn't have much of the story planned when he was making FNAF 2? I think it could go either way. If Scott made a post tomorrow saying that this is a Springlock endoskeleton, it would be somewhat believable. And if he made a post saying the opposite, I think it would also be believable. The combination of the 3 prongs and the rings around the arms and legs is what really gets me. This movie feels like Scott is trying to give us answers to the games, but there's so many little but big things holding me back from accepting those answers as canon. For example, the coin saying that Freddy's opened in 1983. Yes, I think I could come up with a way to explain this away. If you look at the design of Freddy used on the coin, you'll notice that it's the FNAF 1 Freddy, which is the design used for the franchise locations. Since 1983 could be referencing the start of the franchise locations after the original Freddy's with the toy animatronics shut down. There's also the fact that the gameplay for FNAF 2 takes place in 1987, not 1982. But just because the gameplay takes place in 1987 doesn't mean the pizzeria has to be open in 1987. The movies and books have established that security guards are hired to work at Freddy's long after the restaurants shut down. Like I said, there is a way to explain all of these problems away, even if it is a little bit convoluted. But the one thing I keep going back to is this newspaper we see at the beginning of FNAF 2, where it says, "Come be a part of the new face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza." This heavily implies that there was a previous face of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, along with a previous location.
Wouldn't it be easier just to say it was Fredbear's? I mean, Fredbear's is not out of the question. It was still a location, most likely the startup of the company. If they went from, because this is a very Fredbear design here. What if in 1982 or 1981 they had Fredbear's? Or 1983, what about 1933? In 1982, they could have had Fredbear's. that could have led them to try something new, right? They had something new. The new face of Freddy's would have been the toy animatronics, since they're sleek, new in design. But then they went back to these original ones, right? The original looking ones. After they closed down, they went back to these ones, and that would still make it the original Freddy's. That's where we play, and then after that, we bring into the new face of the new and designed ones of these. That's the only way it makes sense.
So as far as the FNAF 2 location being the original Freddy's in the games, I think it's possible, but it's highly unlikely. But one big reveal from the movie that I think can work well in the games is that the reason the puppet calms down when hearing the music box is because it was a gift from her father, Henry. I think that works pretty well in the games and is a satisfying answer to why the music box works on the puppet. Speaking of the puppet, the movie also revealed that the only animatronic that's haunted in the FNAF 2 pizzeria is the puppet. The movie makes it very clear that there's only one spirit haunting the pizzeria, and that's Charlie. Because of this, Charlie is actually the one controlling all of the toy and withered animatronics, which means all of the animatronics except the puppet are not haunted. This is something that could translate to the games, but there are a few problems. In FNAF 2, we see the spirit, or at least the suit, of Golden Freddy popping in and out of the office. We also know that there were another set of murders at the FNAF 2 location, commonly referred to as the DCI, the Dead Children Incident.
Once again, I don't believe in the Dead Children's Incident. I believe that because Five Nights at Freddy's 2 was a prequel, it makes more sense for them to be possessing the old animatronics that they designed into new ones. They wouldn't have stuffed them in the toy animatronics. They would have stuffed them into these ones. I don't think there were 5 deaths taking place in the 5 animatronics of Freddy's at all. If Afton was the main designer on the suits, he would have hit them pretty well into the suits, or even before that, they would have hit him before possessing the suits, making Remnant. There's one children's incident, the missing children's incident, not the dead children's incident, because the entirety of the series, we don't hear about that, except for this one part. I believe this is instead showing us that the missing children incident happened in Five Nights at Freddy's 2 location instead of the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 location.
But after FNAF 2, the DCI is literally never brought up in another game again.
Exactly.
This makes me think that Scott didn't intend for these to be kids in this minigame. I think they're meant to be adults. We see in both the first and second movie instances of adults entering the pizzerias and getting killed by the animatronics. In the second movie, we see Michael Afton offering to give the ghost hunters a tour of the restaurant, only for the toy animatronics to kill them. And if you look at Michael's outfit, you can see he's wearing a purple polo shirt and a big gold security badge on his chest, just like the purple guy we see in the FNAF 2 minigame. Maybe this purple guy isn't meant to be William, it's meant to be Michael Afton, luring adults into the pizzeria to their deaths. But here's the problem. We see in the opening scene of the movie that Charlie is desperately trying to tell the adults that a kid was being kidnapped, but they all ignore her. This ends up being the reason Charlie gets killed. And now that she possesses the puppet, her goal is to kill all of the adults that she can, because they failed to help her that day. This might even be why Henry had to create Lefty in FNAF 6 to capture the puppet. He knows that she's out of control and wants revenge against the adults. What happens in the movie actually could line up pretty well with the games. In Charlie's death minigame, we do see her outside of the pizzeria screaming for help through the window. And because no one helped her, she gets killed by William. The adults at the restaurant failed her in both the movies and the games. And in the FNAF 2 phone calls, we hear that the animatronics at the pizzeria are fine with kids, but act differently around adults.
But the characters have been acting very unusual, almost aggressive towards the staff. They interact with the kids just fine, but when they encounter an adult, they just stare.
Okay. I don't hate that. I don't hate that. I don't hate that at all. It would also coincide with the fact that the dead children isn't a real thing as well, and that there's only the first 5. Jeremy, Fitzgerald, or whatever.
Crazy Puffs and Mountain Dew Mango Rush. Together for just $4.99. Everyone wants in on this deal.
No, I
We
don't.
even get a line from Vanessa in the movie where she says that Charlie doesn't blame Afton for her murder, she blames the adults that failed to help her, which also lines up with her voice lines from Ultimate Custom Night.
I recognize you, but I'm not afraid of you. Not anymore. I don't hate you, but you need to stay out of my way.
Charlie is only mad at the adults, and that's kind of the problem. In the minigame where we see the DCI, you can see the puppet running around the pizzeria with the words "save them" being spoken letter by letter. It's
S-A-V-E-D-H-E-M.
seems like the puppet is trying to save the people who got killed, but if these really are supposed to be adults, Charlie wouldn't want to save them. This is the thing. It feels like these pieces are supposed to connect, but there's
they
always
don't.
one or two things contradicting them. But one other thing that could work in the games is what's in the box. In the movie, we see Vanessa pull a box out of the closet and take various objects out, including Garrett's toy plane. Because Garrett's plane was in the box, I think it's safe to assume that what's in the box is Afton's trophies from his
What's in the box? It's the pieces put together, though. The pieces of the children's death?
murders. This is a common thing that serial killers do, so that would make sense. This is one of those things that has no evidence to back it up in the games, but it kind of doesn't need it. The box isn't super important.
Perhaps some things are best left forgotten for now. But the thing is, what's in the box? It's the pieces put together. Wouldn't it make sense for that, though?
To the story currently, so whether this is what's in the box in the games or not doesn't really affect anything. So until Scott says otherwise, this is probably what's in the box. Next, we gotta talk about Circus Baby. After I saw the movie,
That was weird. That was really weird. For some reason, she appeared in the movie and didn't do a single thing. She sat there, was like, and then just nothing else.
for the first time, I told you that there was one scene that made me jump out of my chair, and this was it. But one thing that didn't hit me until after I left the theater is that Vanessa in this dream sequence looks to be the same age she was when Charlie died, meaning that we have a fully functioning and built Circus Baby as early as 1982. And not only that, her eyes are already green. In the games, this would mean that Elizabeth already possesses Baby. But it doesn't seem like Elizabeth exists in the movie universe, at least that we know of. I can only hope that we learn more about when Baby was built in the third movie, because figuring out when Circus Baby's Pizza World opened would help a lot with creating a timeline. But if this part of the movie really can be put into the games, then Elizabeth being the first death in the franchise is not out of the question. With this, I think we're gonna have to wait until we get more info in the third movie. Once again, I am not saying the movie universe is the same as the games. I think what I've learned from researching for this video is that the movie franchise really does take parts of every corner of this franchise and mixes them all together. There are things we can take from this movie and use in the games that are pretty satisfying in my opinion, but a lot of things just don't work, and that's okay. Unless there's something big that I'm missing, and in that case, Scott, if you're watching, feel free to let me know in the comments if you want. Subscribe if you enjoyed, and thanks for watching.
Good video, good video, good video, good video. I did like that video. I do have some counterpoints in a lot of it, but all in all, I thought it was a good video. I thought some of the points he had were good. I felt like it's just some of the things, like, I just don't think the dead children incident happened. It just doesn't make a whole bunch of sense for him to kill 5 kids, kill 5 more kids, and then what? Nothing? And also, that's another problem, is that in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, we're not in the Five Nights at Freddy's 1 location. For the dead children incident. No, we are, sorry. For the dead children incident, we're in the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 location, right? Instead of the Five Nights at Freddy's 1, which we've been in for every other minigame at that point. So, I think that the dead children incident minigame is pointing towards the fact that No, the first 5 missing kids weren't in the first location, or the first location we play in, of course. But instead, that's where they were killed and murdered, stuffed into the prototype suits, but the withered suits, taken to the FNAF 1 location, fixed by Afton, right? And then that's what happens, is they're destroyed, the remnants are taken, put into the animatronics, in sister location. That's why Ennard exists, and then everything else courses from there. You know what I mean? It just makes more sense to me like that. But other than that, I'm good. I'll see you in the next one. I love you, love you, love you. Goodbye. Anyway, chat, I'm at extreme.